Welcome to my 8th video in a series of shooting rats at a dairy in western Washington state with an air gun. This is also the second in a sort of mini-series when I was still using a red dot sight, hence the title Rats and Red Dots. Since then I have changed to an infrared laser sight, which is superior to the red dot, although the red dot worked. This video does include images of rats being shot and killed with an air gun. If this offends you, please leave now and find something else to watch. I sort of like that graphic. Anyway, here's the gun that I use to shoot the rats. It's a Benjamin Marauder Woods Walker 22 caliber pistol carbine combo. It's a pistol at heart, and it does come with pistol grips. It also comes with a shoulder stock that I have on it now. Has about a 10-inch barrel and with a shroud in front of it inside the tube that you can see where the barrel is there. That silences it very nicely. I have a Evola T67 infrared LED flashlight mounted on the bottom with a handy-dandy little clip that works very well. I have a Sony HDR SR11 high-definition camcorder that has a night shot feature which enables it to see and record infrared light. I also have the Vector Optics Viper Wolf laser sight, which incorporates, you have a choice of a green laser or an infrared laser. Of course, the infrared laser is invisible to the rats. Because it has two lasers, they are both, each is offset a little to the side of being directly above the bore. I would actually prefer that it was directly above the bore. Prior to using the laser sight, I used a red dot sight similar to the one shown here, with the camcorder looking through the screen and showing the red dot image as you can see here. Because of the imperfect viewing angle of the camcorder behind the red dot sight, you get this inverted teardrop effect, which does provide a stable and useful aiming point, but it obstructs the view quite a lot. And when you do zoom in, as you can see here, the aiming point becomes way too large in the image itself. This debris is from a wrecked out building from years past. Old concrete and beams. Rats like to hang out there. Also makes a good shooting place for me. This rat thought he was being very clever, and that's a narrow shot, but it went right through, got him. His buddy's looking at him saying, "Geez, Sam, what happened?" This is a power pole in the foreground, and you can see along the edge of the pasture how much the rats have burrowed up. I'm standing on the shoulder of the paved county road. It's been undermined to some degree by the rats. This is a perfect headshot, standard helicopter tail and kicking. The Benjamin Marauder Woods Walker is an extremely accurate and reliable weapon. Couldn't be happier with it. It's compact, short, easy to use. I spend hours walking around with it up to my shoulder because that is how I search for the rats, looking through the viewfinder on the back of the camcorder. The lightweight and short, compact nature of the weapon makes it possible for me to spend that much time in a firing position and still be effective while I'm firing. This is about a 30-yard shot. Rats are not as prevalent now, much harder to find, which is okay, more fun to hunt. In these early days, there were just rats everywhere. Workers actually had to kick them out of their way at the dairy to do their jobs. And once again, as I zoom in, you can see the size difference in the aiming point and how much it obstructs the view. With the laser sight, one other benefit is that I have a rat tail switch on the laser sight, so it's only on when I depress the switch, which is a nice option to be able to have it on or off on the screen. This fellow was headed somewhere, I don't know where, but this is where he wound up. This is about a 32, 35 yard shot, something like that. All of my shooting is offhand or freehand, however you want to say it, no rest being used. It's not convenient as I move around the dairy. I've got some nice shooting sticks, but it's not practical to try to use them. Try to make headshots when I can. It's I believe the most humane way to dispose of the rats, although I'm convinced that a good solid heart-lung shot is every bit as incapacitating and quickly lethal. Certainly this method is far superior to the use of traps or even more particularly poison, which would leave in turn poisoned rat carcasses for the scavengers and predators to feed on and be poisoned themselves. In this case, that would be eagles, barn owls, great horned owls, a lot of ravens, coyotes, the farm cats. It just is not a good option. This rat's peeking out from under the axle of an old trailer, and I got just about the right angle on him there and put his lights out. About a 20-yard shot. There's the trailer. And it's about a 35-yard shot after the rats. This is near a feed bunker about a quarter of a mile away from the main dairy. There's a lot of equipment stored over there, a lot of feed stored there, both in the bunker and outside, wrapped in plastic. These old tires are used as weights to hold the plastic sheeting on top of the feed to protect it from the rain. When they're not in use, they're stacked off to the side here and become wonderful habitat for the rats. Also a great shooting place for me. If you've seen my other videos, you can see the repetitive nature of, you've seen other rats shot right in that same opening. They like to come back to familiar places and places to work for them, like anybody else, I suppose. It's kind of a shame that this occurs, where these rats have to be hunted down and killed like this. I don't know of any way you could run a dairy operation and not have a big rat population. And you have all this habitat, and so you have the night hunter, me. More coming. Thanks.